Pack. So big news today. Dropbox just announced that it's cutting 20% of its workforce. And what's really going on behind the scenes? Well, let's dive into the details and the reasons behind it and why this isn't just about layoffs. It's about keeping up with the tech world. So let's dive into that today. All right, welcome to Startup Pack. I'm Spencer Thomason here at Startup Pack. We'd love to train software developers in our licensed coding boot camps and build custom software solutions. So I do a lot of work as a fractional CTO. With over a decade of executive leadership and a solid 25 years in software development, I've mastered the art of transforming technology, teams, and products. All right, so Dropbox has just announced that it's laying off 20% of its workforce, around 500 employees, and that's not a small number. So this comes at a time when Dropbox is investing heavily in AI technology, especially in smart search tool Dropbox Dash. But here's the kicker. Despite these layoffs, Dropbox stock prices actually went up. So let's break down what this means, how it's going to affect employees, and why the company is making these tough decisions. Now, Dropbox core business demand has definitely slowed, and the company is shifting its focus towards AI. They're investing in their AI-powered tools such as Dropbox Dash and expanding their enterprise-focused features. Because let's think about it. They have a ton of data. They have a huge treasure trove of data that they can use to train AI. And even if it's not the data itself, user interaction will be pivotal as they try to weave AI into their tool. So while this investment in AI is necessary for the company's future, it has unfortunate results in job cuts. The tech industry is evolving, and companies like Dropbox have to make tough decisions to stay competitive. So the layoff comes as Dropbox rethinks its long-term strategy to focus on high growth areas. Now, Dropbox saw a huge growth during the pandemic type era and before. And honestly, I think they're kind of just a little behind the curve in the layoffs, and the layoffs have probably had to happen for some time. Because I think like every tech company, when money was cheap, they staffed up, and we saw them do some layoffs earlier this year, but I think they've still been pretty bloated. So unlike some other tech giants like Amazon and AT&T, which recently did remote RTO or RTO moving return to office, which I call it an RTO layoff, because the way that they were doing the layoff was slimy, because they'd allowed employees to work remotely, and then they rug pulled them and said, hey, you got to return to the office or lose your job. And people had set up lives. Believe it or not, people have lives outside of work. And Amazon and AT&T had done this rug pull. And I think there was a slimy way to do layoffs because they knew they wouldn't have to pay severances, and they try to make the employees look like the bad guy. Unlike those guys, Dropbox is providing severance for their employees. Their employees will receive a huge compensation package to help them transition, and that's definitely something worth noting. So props to Dropbox here. Yes, layoffs are tough, but it's even worse when companies don't take care of their people. Dropbox approach shows that at least some decency during a difficult time for those affected. So a huge shout out to Dropbox for not being a slime like Amazon and AT&T. Now, the rise of AI and tech is transforming companies like Dropbox, but it's also displacing traditional roles. As Dropbox moves towards automating more tasks with AI, jobs are naturally going to shift. Employees who aren't in high growth or AI-related sectors are often the first to go. So this shift is happening across the tech industry, and Dropbox is no exception. So as more companies lean into AI, we're going to see more workforce reductions, but we're also seeing opportunities in areas related to AI development and implementation, and those are growth as well as high growth salary areas. So now, the really strange one here is something that I've talked about on this channel before. We live in a weird age. Normally, 10 years ago, if a company had announced massive, 20% layoffs like this, their stock would have plummeted because everybody would have been fearful that the company was doing terrible. What's weird about this one is that Dropbox announced the layoffs and their stock price jumps. It's a reflection of how investors see these job cuts, a way to trim costs and focus on high growth areas like AI. Investors in the market right now are so focused on efficiency and gains. So it doesn't matter. So it does feel a little disconnected that they basically are getting rewarded for cutting 20% of their employees. Employees are losing their jobs and investors celebrate. That's capitalism for you. So while the market reacts positively to Dropbox restructuring, it's important to remember the human side of this, and people's livelihoods are affected. Now, if your company has systems that aren't connected, let's help you out. Here at Startup Hack, our specialty is connecting systems to help your company work like a well-oiled machine. So check out startuphack.com/Spencer and we can help you out. Now, the severance packages Dropbox is offering may cushion the blow for its employees, but they're not a fix-all. Severance can help the immediate impact of losing a job, but those employees will still need to find new positions, and it's a competitive market out there right now. Fortunately, Dropbox is not just throwing the employees to the wolves. There's a level of dignity in how they're handling the process. So, however, with any job cuts, the long-term impact on the individuals, is hard, especially in a market like this. Now, here's the thing. I'm pro-capitalism. Companies should have the right to be able to make decisions that align with their goals, even if that means layoffs. It's still tough to see these kind of cuts, especially when they impact so many lives. Dropbox is making a strategic move by focusing on AI, but it comes with a human cost, and balancing innovation with the welfare of employees is a tricky part of capitalism that's on display here. So I am pro-capitalism. Don't think that I'm bagging on Dropbox. I actually think Dropbox did the right thing in offering the severances to the employees, and I get that sometimes as a leader in a company, you have to make these tough decisions. I think there's actually problems we've seen with Intel and Amazon and other places that haven't made some of these tough strategic decisions in the past, which has caused some of the bloat and then terrible layoffs in bad ways, like I talked about before. So Dropbox isn't just cutting jobs for the sake of cutting jobs. They're repositioning for the future. Their AI-powered smart tools like Dropbox Dash are designed to streamline workflows and offer enterprise solutions. AI is becoming central to how companies operate, and Dropbox is betting on it. This is why they're reallocating resources to their AI divisions. The company wants to be seen as a leader in AI, in AI-driven file management and organization, and that requires some tough choices in the short term. Now, this isn't just about Dropbox. Across the tech industry, we're seeing companies scale back on traditional roles while ramping up AI initiatives. It's part of the broader trend of automation and efficiency in the workplace. As AI continues to evolve, expect more companies to follow suit, investing heavily in AI while cutting costs elsewhere. Dropbox is part of that wave, and while layoffs are never easy, they're becoming a more common part of the landscape. So that's why those out here, especially if you are working in software development, need to make sure that you're being trained in some of the latest technology. Here at Startup Hack, we love to train software developers in our licensed coding boot camps, and so this is one of the things that I'm really passionate about, is to help training. So if you want to have some help making sure your skills are up to date, check out startuphack.com. Now, Dropbox is clearly looking to the future with its focus on AI. The company isn't backing down from innovation, and that's where its leadership is focused. This isn't just a reaction to a slow market. It's a strategic pivot toward AI-powered solutions. Dropbox wants to be a leader in this space, and while that means making tough choices now, the long-term goal is to position itself as an AI-driven enterprise. So they're playing the long game here. Now, let's zoom out for just a second. Dropbox isn't just one company among many making similar moves. The tech industry is undergoing transformation, and AI is at the center of it. We're going to see more companies embracing AI, and that means more layoffs in traditional roles. It's a tough pill to swallow, but it's a reality of where the industry is heading. Now, humans are adaptable, and so companies that adapt to this shift will come out on top, and Dropbox is trying to position itself for that. But humans are adaptable too. So for those getting laid off, it's time to really dig in, get your skills updated, make sure your resume's there. And if you don't have experience building on AI and some of these automation, machine learning, cybersecurity, any of these big industries that are really booming, time to dig in and grab some of that, because we are going to need. So for those in the job market, this news can be a little discouraging, because it's also a sign of where the opportunities are. So the future of tech lies in AI, machine learning, automation. If you're looking for job security, develop skills in these areas will be key. Dropbox layoff shows that traditional roles are being phased out, but they're also creating space for new opportunities in AI and tech innovation. The key is to adapt and stay ahead of the curve. Now, finally, we have to acknowledge the role AI is playing in these business decisions. Dropbox isn't the first, and certainly won't be the last, to shift resources towards AI-driven initiatives. AI is reshaping how companies operate, and the decisions we're seeing reflect that. So while layoffs are painful, they're part of a larger movement toward AI-powered efficiency. Dropbox is betting on the future, and only time will tell if that bet pays off. Now, if you're affected, now this is going to affect job seekers in two ways. One, if you're out there already looking for a job, you're going to feel a little bit of a pinch as some of these Dropbox guys hit the market, especially if in your areas where Dropbox had headquarters and whatnot. But then if you're already out in the job market, or if you're one of those who are affected by Dropbox layoffs, then time to go back up and brush up some skills, because most likely got laid off because they didn't see you fitting well into the AI division. Now, what are your thoughts? Do you agree? Do you disagree? I love to have a great discussion. The best compliment I can get is when people leave a comment, particularly even live, but also while I'm, leave a comments down below, because we love to chat with you here. I love having a great discussion, even if you disagree with me. I had some great discussions even yesterday with some folks who disagreed with stuff I posted, and that's okay because the internet's full of a lot of different ideas, and we love to discuss them. Here at Starter Pack, we love to train software developers in our licensed coding boot camps and to build custom software solutions. So reach out, we'd love to help. Hit the links down below or check out starterpack.com today. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel because we bring you lots of great tutorials and tips that every developer should know. See you next time.